the Taliban got a little better aim.
What is going on, guys? It's Adam and Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today we're going to talk about everything that has happened over the last couple days, and in the last 24 hours, we've had some pretty shocking things pop up, and including, we're going to talk about, of course, China making a mega structure in space. Why are they trying to get off Earth? All of that and more right after this.
Got a little better aim. Give them drone, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan owned by the CIA.
Remember, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect mine, Dex's, or anyone else's opinion on the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. Let's go. All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam A.K. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Thank you for all the well wishes. Again, I just had a stomach bug, and people were saying that was a new symptom of this new thing and whatever. Both my 2-year-old and I ate at a fish shack that was like a taco truck type thing. I knew exactly why I was not feeling well. So nobody else was sick in the family, and we were just having stomach issues. So I'm glad that was over. In fact, it was over as quickly as it started, if you know what I mean. So anyways, thank you for all the well wishes. Thank you for everybody that cares enough to send DMs and pray, and just everybody that is in the Foogle family. You guys are all amazing. And then thank you, everybody, for popping in. If you've never been here before, this is a live show. This is a live call-in show today. So the number is scrolling down below. It's going to be on here. It just went by, but it's going to rotate back around. That is 224400-MARF. Again, that's 224400-6273 if you would like to call in. Get in early, then you can get into Dex, and you can even listen to the show while you're on hold. And to anybody new, just to make sure that you know this, we try to make sure that we back up every single thing we say here. If not, we make sure to clarify that it is an opinion or it is a theory. Again, if you go to today's show on marfooglenews.com, it's very easy to navigate. You just go to this thumbnail. Are they preparing to leave Earth? Once you click that, you will see that we have a bibliography of all of our sources. So I don't want to see a comment saying, sources, please. All of our sources are on the website. In fact, everything down to, if we show you a tweet, that's going to be there. If we show you videos, all of it's going to be there. Again, on the right side, if you do want to support us, we are truly independent. We do not have a multi-channel network. We don't have a multi-billion-dollar company behind us. We have you. So if you want to support us, on the right side is a PayPal. You can do a super chat during the show via PayPal. NordVPN, our affiliates, or EMP Shield, all of those are over on the right side. Down at the very bottom is web-only content, the stuff that is too hot for TV or too to one side that we can't cover without being somewhat neutral. We do try to stay as neutral as we can. We have people from both sides of the aisles here. That's how it should be. We should be able to get along, not get triggered by every little thing, including screen names. If a screen name involves a certain candidate, that stuff shouldn't trigger you. We should just be starting to try to get over this divide that we've hit. So again, let's get together and let's push each other up, not down. Dex, let's bring in my co-host / internet brother. Dex, how are you doing today? And what's going on?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better now.
Well, thank you. And then let's get right into the news. China's Microsoft hack may have had a bigger purpose than just spying. Again, if bigger than spying, what would that be? Stephen Adair hunts hackers for a living. Back in January, in the corner of his eye, peripheral kind of way, he thought he saw one in his customers' networks, a shadowy presence downloading emails. Adair is the founder of a cybersecurity company called Velexity, and he runs traps to corner intruders all the time. So he took a quick look at the server his client was using to run Microsoft Exchange, and he was stunned to see, quote, requests that we're not expecting, he said. There were requests for access to specific email accounts, requests for confidential files. It said he followed all of this requested information to a virtual server off-site, and it said the hair is almost rising on my arms right now when I think about it. Adair told NPR later, he said, quote, this feeling of like, oh crap, this is not what should be going on. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he said. It said what Adair discovered was a massive hack into Microsoft Exchange, one of the most popular email software programs in the world. For nearly 3 months, intruders helped themselves to everything from emails to calendars to contacts. They went wild and launched some second wave of attacks to sweep Exchange data from tens of thousands of unsuspecting victims, and they hit mom and pop shops, dentist office, school districts, local governments, all in a brazen attempt to vacuum up information. It says both the White House and Microsoft have said unequivocally that Chinese government-backed hackers are to blame. So we see this a lot where it's, the Russian hackers, but it's not the Russian government, or at least they say, we can guarantee it's from Russia, but we can't say if it's supported by the government. This one is the Chinese government, the Chinese hackers, but we can't guarantee they're from, the Chinese government. But in both cases, you're pretty much like, if this is true, then it would be one of those, right? It would be the Chinese government or it would be the Russian government. Or it would be the U.S. government. It would be the three-letter agency, starts with the C and ends with an A. Again, NPR's months-long examination of the attack, based on interviews from dozens of players, from company officials to cyber forensic experts to U.S. intelligence officials, found that stealing emails and intellectual property may only have been the beginning. Officials believe that the breach was in the service of something bigger: China's artificial intelligence ambitions. The Beijing leadership aims to lead the world in a technology that allows computers to perform tasks that are traditionally required human intelligence, such as finding patterns and recognizing speech or faces. So supposedly part of this was AI. What do you think about this, Dex, as far as you've been in tech companies and understand how these things work? Like, what do you think that this is all about?
So, yeah, it certainly makes sense. I mean, when you think about them pulling tons and tons of data, and it's not just data that's in databases, this is communications, right? This is all of these conversations between people via email, business settings between these people and those people. That's all information that can be fed into an AI platform so it can learn more, or it can learn more about what may be going on in a particular business or a particular sector of businesses, and then how to turn around and use that, right? What can be mined from it. The other thing to think about here is, in addition to whether or not there's an AI layer here, there's this entire data collection model, right? So if you think about this country and these hackers are building this database of as many people as they know, they're by capturing this data from companies. Those are people behind it, right? Every single email in there is a human. So they're capturing all of that and flagging it and tagging it and adding it on to their database of all of these people, which we know, and it's been reported before, that they have built a huge database of all of the people in America and around the world, for that matter.
Do you think that part of that is what they've done with companies like TikTok and other apps, that they have been mining information?
Absolutely. Like the old Face, what was that? Facetune app that, and then TikTok and all of them, collecting all of that data and even getting data from big tech, which I'm sure they have inroads to and have accessibility to and have partnered with. Getting that data and being able to mine it and turn it into something that's usable for them, so that they know who they're dealing with or what they're dealing with when they're dealing with people in another country, or specifically a group of people, or even trying to do things like create a false narrative. And how do I get people to get on board with it? Who are the right people I need to get to, jump on this bandwagon that my million, bot army is going to come out and start creating a viral message about, right?
And if you don't know what he's speaking about, or if you're new here, we covered that China, the actual government, has over 1 million on the payroll. Their specific purpose is to run kind of accounts that can sway things. So these are real people that are employed by the Chinese government, and who knows, maybe each one of them has 3 accounts or 4 accounts. Some places like, Twitter per IP or whatever, they can have 2 Twitter accounts. Maybe each one of these have 2 Twitter accounts that whenever, anything that's negative, they downvote it or make sure that they, I guess counter it with something. Or if there's something they do want, pushed up to the very beginning or trending, they can do that in an instant. If you have 1 million people all pushing something and they all have a VPN putting themselves all over the world, they can put anything to trending, which means they can control the flow of information. And if you control the flow of information, you control the world. Honestly, they have, I believe they have more employees than we do as far as propaganda style. So, I mean, think about it. Think about what's happening right now. I mean, are they, who's really running the show right now? It says there is a long-term project underway, said Kirsten Todt, who is the executive director of the administration's bipartisan commission on cybersecurity and now runs the Cyber Readiness Institute. It says, quote, "We don't know what the Chinese are building, but what we do know is the diversity of data, quality of data aggregation, accumulation of data is going to be critical to its success." So something is going on. Obviously, there is something bigger than just getting your social security number and identity theft. This is something, there's something massive on the horizon. That's my opinion. What's yours? I'd love to hear it. Eric, the original copper-colored Anya Mays, thank you so much for back-to-back support. Thank you so much, Eric. And then Uper Viking, Marf and Dex, thank you. You've hit all of the nails on the head every flipping time. Only God knows how much I love and appreciate you all. So for any of you that joined us last night, we, of course, talked about the warnings and, yes, very public warnings and intel that there was going to be an event outside of the airport yesterday. We talked about that, and, of course, my actual statement was basically what all of everybody else thought, too. I said, basically, we called it. And I mean we, as in the Fugel family. I said we called it, and then said, that 13 hours before the attack, we showed you there's these warnings that nobody pays attention to. A lot of people did not cover that. They did not cover those warnings. The only reason most of these people know that there were those warnings is because of channels like this and others that actually cover and pay attention to that stuff. Again, this is why we follow the news so closely and follow it so many different directions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the Twitter. I clipped that part, and it's us showing the intel report that they said that they strongly said that there was, a very big stream of threats towards outside the airport. Well, guess what? It happened. And not only did it happen, as I said, Twitter would be flooded with chaotic videos of people being harmed and all of this, exactly on par. But I mean, to a T, like the videos, they're saying one things, but the videos say another, and the videos have people up in arms. It's like clockwork. It's like, again, a couple people were like really pissed off. They're like, "Do you want a pat on the back? Why do you keep saying what you got right?" We are getting new people every day, and you may watch the show every day and you may know about all this stuff, but the new people joining us, they don't know. And they don't know our track record. They don't know any of that. There's a reason why we have taken the transcript for our show and started recording that onto our website, so you can type in. So if I say, blue Gatorade, you can type blue Gatorade into my search bar at marfooglenews.com, and it will bring you this show because I said blue Gatorade. That way we can you can check our work. If we say something wrong, you can correct us. We also say. We also correct ourselves when we're wrong, and that includes Dex. We've actually corrected ourselves if we make a mistake. We just did it like a week and a half ago. So we don't want to pat on the back. We're just trying to show you this is exactly what is happening. It's a bad B movie. It's a bad B movie, and you know what's going to happen next. So it's so obvious what is happening right now, and most of you are in tune with that. When I say we, I mean it. I mean we. If I ever say we called it, that means we as in you, I, and all of the rest of the Fugel fam. So just know that. I believe that this is a group. I don't think it's me. I just really, I guess I'm a bit irked that people think that that's how I am. Because I'm not, Never had that problem of people thinking that I'm like somewhat full of myself or something. Israel is accelerating operational plans to take action against Iran. IDF Chief Kovavi says. So I'm actually going to go back to this here in a second. But first, it says Israel's military is accelerating its operational plans against Iran due to the progress of the Islamic Republic's nuclear program. Dex. That's nuts. By the way, if you want to call in, Dex is on the phones at 224-400-MARF. Again, that is 2244-006273. That's 2244-006273. If you want to talk about any of these things, or of course China building a Noah's Ark, call in. It says, though, that they are working on nuclear project. It says the progress of the Iranian nuclear program has led the IDF to accelerate its operational plans, and the recently approved defense budget is earmarked for that, he said. Kahavi commented as Prime Minister Naftali Bennett landed in the United States ahead of a visit with U.S. President J.B. and other senior officials. Bennett is expected to push B as hard to harden his approach to Iran and drop efforts to revive the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or the JCPOA, during his visit to the White House. It says, when we began to plan the visit, a return to the agreement seemed certain. Since then, the time has passed, the president in Iran has changed, and things seem far less certain. In our view, it may be that there is no return to the agreement. So essentially saying that they are, it's not looking good as far as them going back to say, okay, we'll do that.
And this is like a long way of saying, hey, we're getting ready to go in and do some damage over there, right?
It's a very, very smooth way to say it. It's like, we don't need that. We don't need an agreement, right? With no diplomatic options likely to push Iran to stop its nuclear program, Israel's military believes that Iran needs to be aware that it should continue with its program. It would face harsher sanctions and a true military option to stop the program. So they're saying they will. Basically their next step is the military section there. Delaware Sasquatch. If things are not bad enough, Supreme Court just blocked B's eviction moratorium. Supreme Court just blocked it. So then people will be evicted. Is that right? I believe that means that, so is he trying to extend the moratorium? I know that it's different from, from what I understand, it's different from state to state. Here, that thing is still going, or at least I think it is. Thank you, Dano Houston says, keeping the faith. Thank you, Fugel fam. Thank you over on D-Live, Alex in Maui, Mind of Tron, Vibron. Hey, it's been a long time since I've seen you in here. Thank you. Barraclaws, Alex in Maui, Miss Jackson 906. They are lying about it being ISIS. Twitter, last comment. Chef Lee, Mary XX, Debpool, and of course, thank you, Debpool, for your support early on. As far as ISIS being this, I did do a tweet that basically said that the Taliban just got millions of dollars worth of gear, including unmanned aerial equipment. In fact, a whole plethora of unmanned drone equipment that could do damage remotely without having to sacrifice anybody. And then they say the ISIS goes in for a suicide bomb, right? And they took their own lives to do this damage. Again, there's a lot of weird stuff going on, and they say that the T-ban actually condemns it. So it's like there's constant stuff in the media basically making you think, oh, well, the T-ban aren't that bad. They're mostly friendly terrorists, Don't know. Will Wilson, something is coming. It's hard to describe. When birds are falling out of the sky, we got problems. It's like a runway train you don't want to watch, but you can't look away. Well, unfortunately, we're going to be forced to look. And we're going to be forced to do a lot of things very soon. Ghislaine Maxwell barricaded herself in the prison conference room. Ghislaine Maxwell barricaded herself in the prison conference room by blocking the door with a cart of legal documents, creating a security threat, prosecutors claim. It says that Ghislaine tried to barricade herself in the video conference room in prison with a card of legal documents, prosecutors have claimed. Jeffrey EpiPen, alleged Madame, created a security threat by blocking the door and preventing guards from accessing the room. Maxwell was banned from bringing the cart in and was forced to carry materials from her cell to the conference room. The row is the latest dispute over Maxwell's condition in the Metropolitan Detention Center, or MDC, in Brooklyn, New York. Quick question, and if anybody knows, I'm going to go over to the main chat. Does anybody know, is that the same jail that Jeffrey was in when it didn't happen or happened? Right? Is that the same place, or is that a different place? I know that I thought it was in New York. Is that the exact same place that happened? Mark Roberts says, yep. Carolina Roots, I don't know. Dogecoin economy. Hey, it's nice to see you, man. I wonder, did you find me through Crypto Batman? That's awesome. Same place, Marge, Kathy, Leo, thank you so much. Kabul, Kate Paul, what is going on with Ghislaine? Well, apparently she boarded herself up in there. It sounds like it's almost a setup, like they're going to say that, of course she's been causing issues, and then she's going to board herself up, go in the room, lock the doors, and then she's going to, wind up, That sound is it's to imitate, If somebody doesn't know, just tell them in chat. Okay. What do you think? I would love to hear your opinion. And then China reportedly working on ultra-large spacecraft. We'll talk about that after our calls. And then again, let's go over to the phones. Let's see here. Who do we have here? Okay, we're trying to get the first callers having technical difficulties, so I will go into this in just a second. Chicky R, CFP at Survival Living needs our support. Send love. He needs it. Chicky R is sending love from all northeastern Maryland. I did not aware that he was in a problem, and I apologize for that, because Survival Living is we've had him do videos for us, and he's a really good guy. Ambertracks.com says waterproof Bibles and survival supplies. Ambertracks.com. That's amber like the color and tracks like railroad tracks. Ambertracks.com. USA only. And then David A., thank you for your PayPal support over there. Thank you for supporting Independent. I hope that Central Florida Prepper, Survival Living, a.k.a., I hope you're okay. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of mods, speaking of awesome people and our mod, Bones, again, happy birthday. I know I said it yesterday because of Aaliyah's, but I apologize that I was not Johnny on the spot yesterday with doing it myself. So everybody put a Bones in the chat for Bones. He's been a mod for a very long time, and he's an awesome guy, and it is his birthday yesterday. So again, say happy belated birthday or Bones birthday or whatever you want to say, but give him some credit down there because he's done a great job helping us keep the place a very safe place to talk. All right. And then, again, the number is 224-400-MARF if you would like to call in right now. It looks like that first caller is having technical issues and cannot get in. So if you have been waiting to call, this would be the time to do so. All right. And then we'll go into that here in just a second. 12 U.S. troops among at least 60 perished and 140 injured in the ISIS bomb, right? Attacks at the Kabul airport. It says 12 U.S. troops are among 60 people perished and 140 injured in the, of course, ISIS bomb or EpiPen boom. And it says that 2 explosions rocked at the airport at Afghanistan just hours after the evacuation deadline. Remember, again, after there was a deadline set. Thousands of people gathered at the airport over the past 12 days, hoping to be evacuated after the Taliban seized power. The senior Afghan health official told the BBC that at least 60 people have been and 140 others are hurt. At least 12 U.S. service members were taken in the bombings, and including 11 Marines and 1 Navy medic, while 15 were injured, the Pentagon said. A third blast was reportedly heard at the airports hours after the earlier two. I am actually hearing that there may be a fourth, and then there was video on Twitter of a huge explosion, so I don't know which one that was, but the timing of it seemed like it was afterwards. Bleed Red, White, and Blue says, get prepared, everyone. Illinois' mandates start up Monday, and people are going to protest. Prepare for fake riots blamed on patriots. By the way, we started ours again. A lot of the states are doing like these different staggered results here. What's crazy is I don't see anybody doing it. And then the stores, which used to be like, you wouldn't get past the first 5 feet. They're just not pushing people to do it, which I'm actually surprised, because this is Washington. We're Washington, home of Seattle. Noses in the air, Seattle. So. And then, of course, we talked about it yesterday. Let me pull this up real quick. We've got some videos here in just a second. Let me pop this up. And actually, this kind of shows you, if you didn't join us for last night's show, there's good reason why we put this there, is because... Let's see here. Bam. Okay. This was planning to based. This was 13 or 14 hours before the attack outside. Of course, based on the reports that were public, but only the small media were talking about this. Only the people like me were talking about this. This is why we follow these warnings. And that's why we say pay attention to these other warnings, like DHS saying get 6 months to a year of food for a potential blackout. These things, they know a lot more, and or they're planning a lot more, and they give heads up. Khorasan province was planning to people outside of Kabul International Airport, outside of the airport, which I'm sure if that happens, we will see Twitter video almost immediately of people and a chaotic scene. Building the stage now. And I don't know if anybody caught that, but when I said building the stage now, like building, a stage for an event, just saying. I don't feel like we're special. I feel like, it was right there in our faces. But again, if we can predict it, guess who else can predict it? You can. And guess who else? Military. Military with the most advanced equipment in the world. And they say, well, these people, they're using old technology, something that you can't stop. The U.S. Army and the military has equipment that can sense that stuff now. There's a lot of really crazy equipment that they can do, but specifically, the entire world is looking at this place. They had information about it happening outside. How did they not, set perimeter, watch everybody? How did they even let something get close? Well, because everybody's in that fence, right? This was outside. What do you think? Do you think that they should have or could have stopped this? Do you think that they had no way to because it was such a primitive way of doing it? Was it a primitive way of doing it? What do you think about the videos that are being released? Which, again, there's a lot of really horrendous ones being released. Which is, again, outside of Kabul International Airport. Outside of the airport. Which I'm sure if that happens, we will see Twitter video almost immediately of people and a chaotic scene. Building the stage now. Khorasan province was planning to people out. Isn't that crazy? And then Taliban warned malicious elements were planning a hurricane interview hours before the explosion. So yeah, didn't need a rocket scientist to predict this one. In fact, you had CIA reports, you had of course official reports, you had an interview with the Taliban saying that there was malicious actors doing it, and yet 4 explosions, possibly at least 2. Possibly 4. Despite the massive explosions outside Kabul's main airport on Thursday, the Taliban has said that it has no intention to extend the U.S. withdrawal deadline past August 31st, the date agreed upon for the U.S.-led 20-year occupation war to end. An official with the Taliban told the New York Post that they were doing everything possible to prevent a T attack in Kabul just hours before 2 deadly blasts rocked the Afghan capital on Thursday afternoon. Which, of course, most people that are, just completely sleeping on the job here, they're going to say, oh, it was the Taliban, or it wasn't, or whatever. Whatever you think, it seems like the majority of people are saying, oh, this was the Taliban and it wasn't this or that. Who knows? At this point, who knows? And then, let's see. Oh, and by the way, CIA, we'll talk about this here in a second. Let's see. Yeah, do we have that? Okay, that's on our offline stuff. So, just want to remind you, we actually covered about 2 weeks ago, before they got taken down, besides the articles that are coming out that says the CIA head of CIA went and met with the leader of Taliban on Monday, which again was days ago. Besides that, I remember covering something, and I'm pretty sure, Dex, I don't know if you remember, but did we not, before the entire collapse, before the 11-day period, didn't we cover something that said that the CIA person was going out there a different time? Or was that the same thing? It seemed like it was before the collapse. And it was as they were talking about pulling him out, and the guy went and talked with him. Do you know what I'm talking about, Dex?
Adam, no, I'm not aware. I'm sorry.
So maybe you guys can help. If you do remember, put it in the chat below. I swear we covered a story that basically said that the somebody at CIA went and met, but it wasn't this time that was on Monday. It was something else. It was way before. It was like maybe 3 weeks ago. And it just seems weird that they went and met. And I remember somebody else went, and it was like, why are these important people going over there and meeting? And then all of a sudden, total collapse. Texas Comtech, but I may be wrong. You guys can correct me. I do know that we're, of course, now covering that CIA head director went on Monday during kind of a lot of the drama. Texas Comtech, thank you for subscribing. Verbron from Australia, thank you so much for your support. Again, thank you guys for supporting Independent. Thank your mods down there. Drop an M in the chat. They are doing a great job keeping it an awesome place. And then video appears to show Taliban taking joyride in a U.S. Black Hawk helicopter. It says a video has emerged that appears to show the Taliban fighters taking a Black Hawk helicopter on a joyride at the Afghan airport. The latest example of how the insurgents are flaunting their newly acquired military gear and rubbing it in America's face. Seems pretty like straight up just staged, but whatever. Okay. This is Joseph Dempsey says, reportedly a Taliban captured an Air Force UH-60 Black Hawk. Which again, there's also rumors that they have more Black Hawks than Australia now. Let's see here. Okay, so I remember a lot of people commenting and saying, hey, who cares if they got this equipment? They won't be able to use it because they're not trained on it. Kind of looks like that's what they're doing. Kind of looks like what they're doing is actually possibly training, learning how to fly it. They're staying a foot off the ground. Let me ask you this: if you are a helicopter pilot in the audience, is this a step of learning how to fly? Do you usually have a professional fly you up, and then you, like a plane, have two kind of control sticks? How do you actually get your first start? Do you do things like this? Do you hover a couple feet off the ground at first so you can be safe, or is that even more dangerous than going up in the sky? I would think that if you do the wrong move or something, that the blades would hit or something. What is your opinion on this? And then down below, it says, reportedly a T-band Afghanistan Air Force UH-60 at Kandahar, important to note, only shown taxiing, not flying. And then it says, since when do you taxi a helicopter? Obviously, someone is being trained to operate it. You don't just jump in a helicopter and drive it around the airport. It says no maintenance is servicing. Give it 3 months and that thing will be effed. It says he's maneuvering the chopper well. That means he has been flying the choppers, I'm guessing you meant. What the F? We are allowing millions of dollars worth of equipment to fall into the wrong hands. Yeah. It says, give them the Apaches too. Why not? So pretty stupid stuff here. Let me go back to the top. I believe we actually have show this thread. Okay. There's a couple more little things here. Let me see if I can. Some of it I can do. Okay, here's another one. An Afghanistan Air Force A-29 Super Tucano apparently crashed in Uzbekistan overnight after fleeing the country. So this is one of the more advanced, older type jets here, or I'm sorry, propeller planes. Look at all this gear that got left. I mean, this is just stupid absurd. We're talking about millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of equipment, and we just let them have it. Look at this. This guy looks like he just took a hit off the largest Afghani bong ever. This is horrendous. Wow. Incredible thread. We have linked this on marfooglenews.com. You can see all of this and more right there, all in one spot. Before we move on, I just want to remind everybody right now you can get $50 off per device if you go over to EMP Shield. In fact, that is a grandfathered in discount that we are one of few that actually gets. What EMP Shield is it's a device that can protect you against all three phases of an EMP. It can protect you against the natural kind, which we're overdue for, solar flare, of course, or CME, and it can even protect you against lightning. It's 100% American made, it's veteran owned, and they make a different device for almost everything. You can get one for your car, your RV, of course, your house, your generator, your boat, or even your ham radio. A lot of people don't know they can even protect their solar systems. Go to marfooglenews.com/EMP and get the same protection that the government is getting. Again, these guys are working with DHS, DOD, to name a few agencies, and then, of course, the DEMSA team helping protect the Texas grid. If you want the kind of protection they are getting, go to marfooglenews.com/EMP. Don't get stuck out somewhere. All right, and then Dex, let's get our first caller on. We've got Stony Stone. Wow. Okay, it says Stony Stone died and came back to life. Stony Stone, you're live on Marfoogle News.
What's going on, Adam?
So what happened? Yeah, what happened?
Well, I had what they call the Widowmaker. I had it in 2011, and they did surgery in 2011, and then they went in to my growing area and clean out the arteries, which was blocked, but they didn't stent it. And this time I started feeling like I didn't feel all that craziness like everybody says an elephant sits on your chest or whatever. It just felt like my lungs bursted into flames, and then 3 arteries blocked. I still have 3 arteries blocked, but they made their own routes to reroute this. I don't even know how it works, but I told Dex that I will send him like the images that I have so he could see what it's like to have 100% clogged artery and then 100% open. They stented it this time. So I don't know, I'm here by the grace of God. And then so yesterday when I was dealing with all this, trying to get myself back, because they said it's going to take me time, you know, my body's not coming back that fast. You know, I chill, my muscles and my heart are all messed up, whatever. And trying to get my blood pressure under control, which I think we got it for the most part. So now my body's got to adapt to all this. But my girl's mother died yesterday on top of this in Houston, Texas. But, you know, I'm still here, Marf, and it's good to see you, bro. And I reached out because I just wanted to say hi to the Marfoogle fam and everybody. And you know what? I'm still here, guys. God must have something. I must not have finished something, because I should not have been here. They kept bringing me back every time I'd flatline, and I got the EKGs and all that shows that I had what the doctors called a textbook heart attack, and I can't even comprehend what that is. I mean, I'm pretty intelligent, but it just blew my mind how I'm here to see the Marfoogle show. I'm amazed, and I'm blessed.
No, I'm super happy.
Changed my whole life.
I'm happy. I'm so happy to hear this. Now, Stoney, if you guys don't know, Stoney is a creator as well, and you know, you've been in the truth niche for a long time, and I'm super happy to hear that you're still alive. Did you have any experiences when you passed?
I had some, but I'm not sure I'm ready to talk about them yet. But I will talk to you. I will tell you directly when I'm ready to talk about it, because I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I seen, because I don't want to mislead nobody. I know what I seen, but I didn't see all that everybody else had seen. I seen some things. Look, I'll tell you one thing that really, really got me. When I'm laying in bed, you know, over the past 10 years, probably, I've lost a lot of people in my life that's very close to me. My dad, my cousins, everybody that's healthier than me, younger than me, whatever the case may be. And every time I felt it, every time that I flatlined, my pillow would push my head off the bed, literally push my head up, and my eyes would open up. That's what it felt like to me. But I didn't see no pearly gates, and I didn't see none of that stuff, but I seen darkness and some pretty crazy stuff. Maybe one day we'll just talk about it. I just don't know if I'm ready to talk about it yet, because I just don't know. I don't know exactly what I saw.
Well,
I kind of do, but
Stoney Stone,
don't, you know.
I'm so sorry to hear about your child's mother, and I can't even imagine.
No, it was my girl's mom died yesterday,
okay.
And it's just like something else. Just throw it on my plate, you know, something else.
I thought you meant like your little girl's mom.
It's just a mess, man.
Yeah,
no, it's my wife's mom.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
My wife. No,
just the same.
Sucks, man. But you know what? I'm still here for a reason. I've got a purpose and a reason to be here, and I've changed my whole life since 1:18 a.m. on Tuesday morning. I changed my whole life. Never been into drugs. Never done any of that crazy stuff. I just more of a thrill seeker out, you know, adrenaline junkie, but I don't drink energy drinks because I got a bad heart. I researched. And then I'm kind of like, you know, like fast motorcycles, fast cars, stuff like that. but I always knew I had kind of a weak heart and high blood pressure, so I've always kind of watched. That's why I never got into drugs. Barely ever drank. Just, it's weird how this happened, man. I smoked 40 years of my 48, and I quit at 1:18 a.m. on Tuesday morning. I stopped. I haven't had a cigarette since.
Well, I hope you don't.
Hardest thing I ever done. Hardest thing I've ever done. But I did, and I'm only by the grace of God that I'm here.
Well, Stony Stone, I'm praying for you, and thank you for calling in and letting us know what happened. I mean, we could have just as easily found out that you passed. So.
Yeah, it could have. I just wanted to touch base with you guys because I think you guys like brothers, and you guys are doing great work. And I'm just glad I'm here to actually say hi to everybody. And God bless you guys, and keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to stay in the fight.
All right, well, thank you.
As soon as I get a little stronger, I think. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course, and don't be a stranger. Give us an update as you get better, okay?
All righty, my man. Thank you guys very much, and God bless everybody. Keep up the great work.
All right, well, I'm praying for you. Thank you. That was Stony Stone. A lot of people know him from his channel, Stony Stone USMC. He's actually been booted off of multiple things, right? Because he really went hard on a lot of stuff. So I'm very sad to hear about your wife's mother, and then I'm very sad to hear that you did that. But I'm very happy that you are here to talk to us. That is very scary. I'm pretty much everybody that anybody and everybody has had a situation or somebody close in the family that's passed either of a heart attack or the other really big one, which is cancer. We had a family friend that just passed away, aneurysm, instantly. 41 years old, just boom, gone like that. And even younger people than that. Just the other day I was reading, there was like a 26-year-old girl that was on TikTok or something and just boom, dropped. So you never know, how much time you have on this planet. Just that's why I think that we should use try your best, because nobody's perfect. Try your best to push people up instead of tear people down. Texas Comtech, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Texas Comtech. Big shout out to Texas Comtech. And then over on DLive, Stormblade X69 says, much love, Adam, Mods, and Foogle fam. Stay safe. Deadpool again, Vibron, Random Beauty. We've got Dixie Doe over there, Bear Claws, Toadman, Mary XX, thank you so much. And then in the general chat, Susan, Kate Paul, we've got SQU, B Borrowed, condolences to our fallen soldiers too. Salute to that. Lindy, Cindy, Luhu, Stony so sorry for your loss and health issues you're dealing with. Glad you're still with us. Jen Boyle says, met another prepper Aldi's today. Let's see here. Icy Hellraiser says, here at Marfoogle TV. I love it. Here. When your work is done, you gone, says Lisa Hartook. Trinity, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Hi-Ho, Kermit the Frog here. Legendary creator, legendary mod. Hey, Drops Family Garden. Drops Family Garden, also OG Foogle fam. Best show on earth are on YouTube. Sorry, I exaggerated, says Larry Miller. Michigan Lifestyle, I seen the sun that was blacked out. Green Bay Lady says, it's cool meeting another prepper. It is cool to meet other people that are, into the same stuff randomly. All right. It says, State Department warns citizens to leave gates of Kabul airport immediately due to threats. Dex, this has been like a roller coaster up and down. They have said, we've literally covered contradicting stories here like 20 times this week. Do you agree? It's like one day they're telling them not to come, do come through this way, don't come, now you need to leave, now you need to get out. Let's see here. It says, State Department warns U.S. citizens to leave gates of Kabul airport immediately due to threats. The State Department...
Yeah, I think this is going to keep going back and forth, right, Adam?
Yes. So
You know, at the end of the day, it's at the state that the airport is right now. The fact that it's a giant bullseye, and the fact that, you know, already things have happened, and they had warning that things were going to happen. It's not just a one-time event. So it's kind of crazy that this is the place you have to go to get out, but it's so dangerous you can't go there.
like I said, it's like, you know, you basically have to risk your life to go to the only place you can go to get out. Because of security threats outside the gates of Kabul Airport, we are advising U.S. citizens to avoid traveling to the airport and to avoid airport gates at this time unless you receive individual instructions from a U.S. government representative to do so. So, okay, what are they going to do then? How are they going to get out by the deadline? I guess they're going to have to wait a couple days. Think about if you were in limbo, if you're across a city or across, you know, a state or something, or province, whatever they call it. You're farther away from this. You've got to get there, but you can't. So then they say, well, don't come because it's dangerous right now. You've got until the 31st. So basically you're saying, well, we'll wait and see if things get better before the deadline. If after the deadline, you might be beheaded or something. I mean, like, this is crazy stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you to all of the replay watchers that are here. Again, if you are watching this the next day, I really, really appreciate you. And I cannot say enough thank you to everybody that's there. I can't shout you all out. I wish I could. But just really know that I appreciate you. CENTCOM commander reveals U.S. intelligence sharing operation with Taliban. Wow. So many NORCOM, CENTCOM, all these weird things coming out. General Kenneth McKenzie, commander of the United States Central Command, revealed an intelligence sharing operation between the U.S. and Taliban on Thursday at the Department of Defense briefing, just hours after the attack on Hamid Karzai International Airport killed at least 12 U.S. service members. It said, according to McKenzie, the Taliban and U.S. share a common purpose of finishing the ongoing evacuation mission by August 31st. As long as we've kept the common purpose aligned, they've been useful to work with. It is so obvious. There are people that are like, well, yeah, because they want them out, and we want to get our people out. So I understand them working together. Besides that, though, they're not going to like go over the line and like plan stuff out. I mean, that, no, I mean, CNN said so. Fox News said so. They said it. Oh, but I fact-checked it. The fact-checker said this. The fact-checker. See, fact-checkers are always right. They're right overall. Fact-check. U.S. officials provided Taliban with the names of Americans, Afghans, allies to evacuate. They wrote them love letters. Basically, they just put all of those Afghans on a kill list, said one defense officials. The U.S. gave the Taliban names of Americans, allied Afghans, to evacuate. Can you fast forward and see the dumb mistake this is? And like, well, at the time they were working and they were being nice with us. What do you think, Dex?
That reminds me of the conversation our current administration had with Putin, and said, here are the 17 most vital things you can't hit with your cyber stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is this like I don't know. It's crazy talk.
Yeah, it's like, here's the 17 things that would really just screw us up. This is actually how you'd win a conflict against us. If you were to invade us and you hit these 17 things, we would basically be screwed and we would lose. Ooh, oops. Can I have that list back? Oh, you guys behead people? Here's a list of everybody that's in your country, what they did for us, and, can you see how that could be bad, like in a week from now, if any one of those people on that list get taken prisoner, and then they go, oh, well, it actually, now we're finding out that the U.S., this person that's now a prisoner of war, was on that list. And they actually gave him the name. Otherwise, he would have survived. Crazy, crazy people here. Just insanity. Let's see here. I do think I missed some people here. Delaware Sasquatch. I did miss some people. How did I do that here? I'm sorry about that. By the way, Aaliyah, great job down there. And then NS909, thank you for popping in the show. Backwoods Ingenuity. Gotta love the Foogle fam. Met a fellow Foogler last week, and it's great to be in like-minded company. Huge thanks to Adam, Dex, and Mods. LFTLWH. Ilea says, my first husband was a helicopter pilot. It says that he moved to America from Germany to fly. He was in the German military, learned to fly there. If you still talk to him, ask him, is that a normal training procedure? Knock, knock, who's there? Europe. LOL, nobody's a poop. Wait, is that what that says? I'll have to look at that. Thomas Paquette says, hey, seriously, we looked left and the SCOTUS nixed the moratorium. News broke an hour ago. Okay, so now they can kick people out. Is that right? And
yep, that's correct. 11 million.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, do you guys realize what is about to happen here? Like, is that federal? Is that across the country?
Yeah, I think it was Biden was trying to hold it a certain way, and then the Supreme Court said it wasn't good, that what he was trying to do wasn't valid, so therefore it threw it out, and everybody's hope that was going to be was going to save it is not, and that means 11 million are now facing it.
Oh man, so I mean, like if that was for approval ratings or something, I don't know. He's really going to be hated right now. But again, I don't think he meant to keep it in the first. I mean, I think it's all, this is all part of a big circus here. Michelle Leach, thank you so much for your massive support. Will Wilson, again, thank you. I believe early on I missed Lisua. Says, I'm ready to leave Earth, but I'll wait on Jesus. Sick of the deception. Thank you for your support. Delaware Sasquatch. I've been instructed by fellow Sasquatch to give this support. No, really. That's hilarious. I think that, do we have multiple Sasquatches here? And then, let's see here. We've got Kenny Cams. Kenny Crams says Kenny Cams on Apple, Spotify, etc. Longtime viewer would love a Marf feature. Eventually, stay positive, fam. Kenny Cams. Do you do music? I would love to check you out. Game over, says Vibron. And then, of course, Veteran Steve, stay discerning, positive, encouraged, and encouraged. Feel better soon. Be the change you want to see. Much love, and thanks to Dex, Mods, and family for all you do. God bless. Well, thank you. And thank you guys for supporting us. Again, we are truly independent. We don't have a multi-channel network. You guys are our backbone. All right, let's get our next caller on. But first, I do want to remind you, right now, you can get upwards of 70% off, depending on which plan you go with, at NordVPN. If you use our special code Marfoogle, not only will you be helping the channel out, you will also get a huge discount and be protecting yourself against cyber criminals. What it does is it hides your IP address, so again, you can't be data logged. It protects your data while traveling. If you're in public, if you're, say, at a Starbucks using Wi-Fi, or anywhere at Wi-Fi, using your friend's Wi-Fi or neighbors or works, it protects your devices. This includes your phone. You can actually use 6 devices on one contract. Again, that means you can use multiple devices all at the same time, simultaneously. There's 24/7 customer service and a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can't really go wrong. Marfooglenews.com/VPN. Remember, use that special code Marfoogle, MARFOOGLE, to get a huge savings and help our channel at the same time. All right, Dex, let's get our next caller on. It looks like we have Busloads, let's see, Renee, first-time caller, talking about busloads of young Afghan men going to military base camp. Renee, you can pop in now, and then...
Hello.
What's going on? Renee, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
So what's happening?
Last evening we heard this rumble, and turns out it was our military base coming in with... Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it might have been delayed at first, but we're fine now.
Okay. So it turned out there was a large caravan of buses coming into our local military base, and they are of young men separated from their families from the country we just left. The question is, so people in town thought it was just a rumor until the newspaper reported it, and they talked to the spokesperson for the military camp. And it's a reserve camp, so it's kind of odd that they're bringing all these men in there, and they're separating them from their families. Now, we could bring them into a very small town, and there are actually more people going there that are in our town. But we couldn't get our own people out of that certain place. Of course, I don't want to say, we all know who it is that's being shipped in, but I'm not sure what's going on, and it's spooking our town. Most of the people here are, have weapons and stuff, but they're really nervous because we're definitely outnumbered and just trying to figure out what's going on.
How many?
Oh, and the newspaper reported that it wasn't just us, that it was going to be, that the spokesperson said they would also be going to Oregon, New Jersey, New York, Florida, and Wisconsin.
Well, again, she's speaking from Indiana and says that there is Afghani refugees coming in, or people that were there and now being evacuated, and then, is that right? Taken to your state to a special place? Is that right?
Yeah, they're taking them to our base, which is literally a mile from my house, and we live on the main thoroughfare, so we heard this rumble, and what it turned out was just bus after bus of them bringing them in the middle of the night. And then again today we saw another caravan coming in, and my husband and I were thinking to ourselves, wait a minute, they can't get our own people out, but they brought these young men over here. And the newspaper said that the men are separated from their families. Their families can be in a completely another state, but yet they're putting them on our base, and our base is a reserve base. They're only here 1 weekend a month, but yet all of a sudden we're shipping them all in here. So we're wondering, it's really making the townspeople uncomfortable. First of all, and angry that we left our own behind, but we're bringing these young men in. And then people are suspicious as to why, are they going to start taking over the United States? Because it's kind of strange that they're being strategically placed all over the U.S. as well. And this came from a spokesman from the military base, that it wasn't just us, that it was several other states were encountering the same thing.
So I do want to say something, because I could probably see some people saying, oh, well, that sounds kind of messed up. If you think that these people are all that bad, they might not be that bad. One thing that we do know for a fact is that in these numbers of people that are coming from that country, there is a percentage of people that we know that even the leaving Border Patrol chief, just retired, wasn't retiring early or anything, basically said that only because he doesn't have to work anymore, he said, I wouldn't be saying this if I had to go to another job. He said that right now we have so many T-cell people coming in, T or ists coming in, that it's unbelievable. So we know a percentage of these people may be very bad actors. So before you say, oh, she just thinks this or that, I understand why people are concerned, and I understand that, you're saying, hey, our guys are there still. Why in the world are, where's the priorities at here? I get both sides there.
Right.
So very odd. I don't think they'll be able to take over, but they could definitely do some damage.
Well, I'm saying they could certainly take over our town because there's more of them now than there are of us. That's one of our concerns with our town members. But the other, there's, of course, a lot of angry people saying, wait a minute, we don't leave our men behind, but yet we're bringing them in. So there's some very angry towns members. So I'm worried about there being a large protest here soon. But, when the newspaper confirmed it, that's all that they did was confirm, yeah, they're here, but they didn't say why, or anything like that. But it's suspicious. Why are you separating them from their mothers or fathers or sisters, or they're in another state? Why are you bringing them here and they're separated? That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
If you were bringing them in here to give them a home, okay, and a refugee, a place away from danger or whatever, why would you separate them from their families? Because I can tell you, we watched this with our own eyes, and these were young men with no women with them on these buses coming in, and there weren't families with them. This is true. This is not a rumor. So, and then for our newspaper to confirm it, now everybody's more puzzled than we were to begin with, as to why this is happening. But I just wanted to bring it up there because, the spokesperson from the military base said that he also confirmed several other states that this was going on in. So it's just kind of weird. Is it for the good, the white hats or the black hats? Now it's becoming confusing as to who is this really for.
Well, I agree with you there. You never know what to even think about at this time, or who is the bad guy, who are the good guys anymore. After watching that 60 Minutes interview,
Exactly.
I'm like thinking, gosh, this guy sounds like, I was like, why does he sound like he's making more sense than the 60 Minutes lady? Well, thank you for calling in.
Right.
Thank you letting us know.
Really getting hard to tell who is on our side, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, thank you so
I
much.
agree, yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in, Renee. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot.
All right, have a blessed night. Bye. What do you think about that? Bringing in dozens. I don't know the number. I should have asked. In fact, I'll try to find that. Dex, I don't know if you. Yeah, look at this. Local group ready to help Afghan refugees settle in Indiana one day ago. So, if there's not something 100% bad about refugees, there's a percentage of those that might be bad actors, though. That's a fact. I mean, we know, or at least we know from all of the experts, we know from the Border Patrol, we know from all these other people that when we are bringing people in, we're bringing in a certain percentage, whether it be small or big, of the really, really bad guys. We have active T cells, and when I say T, I mean TERROR cells in every state. A lot of people don't know that. Here in Washington, there's 5 active cells in the state, and we're not talking about we kind of want to be terrorists, like actual places where they meet and plan things. A lot of public don't know about some of the stuff that they do know. They know, but they can't do anything about it. Kind of freaky. Brostroyer, Brostroyer, thank you for the support and the scary emoji. You know what's so funny? That same emoji, PewDiePie, came in, and that's all he said. It was back when you could click on people's icon and see that was actually PewDiePie, and PewDiePie did that same scary face emoji and then just left. He found us because we were on DLive back when there was very few people on DLive. We had the most viewers on DLive, so we ended up being on that main page. I'm guessing that's how he found us. And then he ended up coming over to the YouTube and saying hi. Same show, we had a, what was it, a CNN reporter stop in. I'm thinking Shepard Smith, but that's not right. It was somebody else. Anyways, Kate Paul, I missed a line. Knock, knock. Who's there? Europe. You're a poo. LOL, I'm not a poo. I don't know why that made me laugh. Love it, guts. That is hilarious. Kate Paul, thank you for making me say that all by myself. Situation normal. The danger of fake news isn't that people might believe it's true, but when people can no longer recognize what's true. I think that's already happened. I know it's already happened because I see people believing things that are, even against common sense. Like really bad common sense kind of stuff. So, very unfortunate. Just on the side note, on the side here, it says Airbnb to assist 20,000 Afghan refugees with temporary housing. Dex, did you realize there was so many people that were...
Oh, yeah. I think we talked about that. Could you imagine, you have an Airbnb and it's getting rented out and you didn't realize it?
Wow. And Airbnb is doing it and paying its people. You don't know that your cabin is being rented by possible bad actors. Who knows?
Check the plumbing for rocks.
Oh my God. They wipe with rocks.
Too soon?
That's so bad. What was that, a caller that called in? Oh, that was Lisa Marie.
That was Lisa Marie, I think, from her experience there with the plumbing and the porta-johns. And you want to know something else? I was talking to a friend, and they did the same thing. They were there, and they gave me the exact same story. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I just heard this story. I'm like, oh, no, it happened. I was there. Somebody totally unrelated. But, yeah, same story. Porta-johns full of rocks.
They wipe with rocks and they put them in the porta-johns and they fill up with rocks and then they can't move the thing. Oh my gosh. Backwards.
Then they shipped all the porta-johns back and the government gave them back to the company that made them. And then the company said no and went bankrupt and then turned around and bought them all, refurbed them, started a new LLC and sold them.
Oh my gosh. That is insane. That's a dirty job. That is a shitty job. Cleaning them and turning them back around, that's really just messed up. Okay, so for our main story, this is something I've talked about for a long time. Dex, come on. Is this are you serious? Okay, so let me read this. China reportedly working on ultra-large spacecraft that's miles across. I have faith in what I believe, and I've heard enough from people, and I've heard enough from people that are higher up that I do believe, and maybe, just maybe, I believe enough that I know that if there is any chance that it is false, then it would be something being told to the very highest people, but we would still see something happen. As far as an asteroid or a meteor or something coming, or a calamity that's going to affect Earth so bad that they either want to get off, or if you don't believe in space, maybe they'll just tell us that. I don't know. Maybe they're planning people. They're telling the majority of people that that's what's going to happen, but really they're going to go underground or whatever. I don't know. But I've talked about all the weird things, all of the asteroid missions, sending seeds and Noah's Arks of DNA samples off into the mountains and off to the moon, all of these missions to space, the sudden arrival of Space Force, the sudden arrival of China, Russia, and everybody trying to get these missions to destroy asteroids, destroy meteors. All of a sudden, everybody was involved in space after basically right before that, nobody was. It was like they found out something. It was like a discovery, changed the whole world, but nobody found out why. It says China is reportedly working on an ultra-large spacecraft that would be so large it would span entire miles. Now, just a thought. They are also making a satellite that is an artificial moon to light up the night. and an artificial sun. Are they planning on living completely in space with a sun and a moon rotating around this miles across station? Maybe just for 100 years for the next couple generations while the planet settles from whatever happens. A start over, a reset, a planetary reset, a pole flip, a volcano. It says, well, if you think about it, eventually some generation's going to have to deal with, say, Yellowstone or something like that, a planetary calamity. So, I mean, it is kind of smart that they would be planning for something like that eventually, right? Now we have the tech. Now we have all this stuff. Now we've spotted stuff out there, right? They have, they have these things looking out into space at every minute, every moment. You think they haven't found something that's actually going to hit with how many stories we see of stuff flying right past us? And you don't think there's no odds out of all the stuff out in space, supposedly, that we're not going to get hit? Look at the moon, for gosh sakes. It says the project is still many years out, but the National Natural Science Foundation of China is calling on scientists to figure out how to construct such a massive structure in orbit. It's massive undertaking, but given the country's space program's huge leaps in recent years, it just may be the place that could actually pull it off. It says spacecraft. The point of a gigantic structure would be to provide a platform to spend more time in space. It's one of 5 projects funded by the foundation, each of which will be receiving about $2.3 million, according to SCMP, which that's actually quite small. That must be just for the designing part. Such a spacecraft is a major strategic aerospace equipment for the future use of space resources, exploration, and the mysteries of the universe, and staying in long-term orbit. An outline of the project of the foundation reads as quoted by SCMP. It says, obviously launching a spacecraft at that size would be impossible on a single rocket. The outline suggests sending separate modules into space and then assembling the massive structure in orbit. One of the main goals of the projects would be reportedly to keep mass down while still ensuring nothing breaks on the way up to orbit. Some assembly required. It says it's a hugely ambitious project that, at least in 2021, is more or less science fiction. But if history is anything to go by, assembling larger and larger structures in orbit is indeed a possibility, as the International Space Station goes to prove. Before embarking on the new project, China was already busy working on its Tiangong space station. The first main module is already in orbit, housing 4 Chinese astronauts, and many additional modules and crew members are soon to follow. What the F? They're moving quick. Tiangong will have expected a mass around 100 tons, about the quarter of the ISS. Scaling up several orders of magnitude, needless to say, is bound to be massively challenging. Not to mention, news just came out, Russia and the U.S. will cooperate to build Moon's first space station. What the hell is happening here? Dex, what do you have to say about that?
Well, certainly this spacecraft is enormous. The ambitious plans that they have is ginormous. And why would you need it to be that big if you're not trying to move a lot of people up into space, right? I think the other one we have to think about is when it becomes a craft that is not just in orbit, but is actually meant to start moving from one destination to another, like going from planet to planet, or to other locations in our solar system or wherever, right? Those are going to be some very massive size ships with lots of propulsion.
And people think of this
sort of like what you see in a movie, right?
Exactly. I mean, this is something that we see in science fiction. And at some point, it's not going to be. Think about all the things that we thought would be science fiction 30, 40 years ago. And now are happening. Virtual reality is insane right now. But it's not even close to what it's going to be. You're going to be fully immersed. There's chips that are going to make your brain think that you are in a video game. I mean, these things are now happening. We're talking about detailed computer screens on a contact that can go on your eye and give you directions like you're looking at live AR, augmented reality, all with a contact lens. I mean, that's not even as far as we can go. I mean, once quantum computing goes into it and AI, that's the scary part. AI would be able to invent stuff. Once AI gets its own feet, which is absolutely scary, it will be able to invent stuff for the human race, or it might invent stuff for itself and take us out. People thought Terminator was such a sci-fi, like a crazy idea, but now as it gets closer, it was kind of visionary. Like, that's actually something that could happen, especially when we have complete dependence on internet and on computers and on electronics. Who knows? Maybe a worldwide kind of EMP CME event or something would be needed to stop, a planetary takeover of our own making. Wouldn't that be freaky? All right, Dex, let's get our next caller on.
Either way, the most important thing you can do is prepare, right?
Exactly. Just have extra stuff. It's so freaking simple. It's the easiest thing that anybody can do, and you'll feel a lot better if you do. Let's see here. Predictive programming book, In the Wake of the Plague, the Black Death, and the World It Made. Cole Cracker is calling in about a very predictive programming scenario in a book. Let's get Cole Cracker. Cole Cracker, you're live on Marfoogle News. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Marf?
So what's going on? I've got a link here. What am I going to?
The book there, in the wake of the plague, it's The Black Death and the World It Made. It's by Norman Cantor. Now, it's 13th, 14th century book, what it's written on. And if you go to chapter 1, if you could find it, All Fall Down.
Well, let me see. Can I just read it from here?
Yeah, the first two paragraphs. And when you get to the back, it says, the New York Times reported a speaker. And read that. What I wanted to say here is, guess who is speaking pretty much these exact words. I read almost this whole book, and it made the hair on my neck stand up, because even though this is 13th, 14th century, there are, and you'll not probably be able to guess, or maybe the fam will be able to guess, who is standing up there speaking, saying these words.
Wait, can you say that again? It got choppy when you said that.
I would just have the fam guess, you guess who this individual is that's speaking this words from the 13th, 14th century book.
Hey, Cole Cracker, we can't read the book. We just have
you can't?
Book title. You can say what you were going to tell us about it, though.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know you. I thought
That's
you had
okay.
it there. Well, basically, it said the New York Times reported a speaker at the meeting warned that the healthcare system in the United States was not prepared for a BioT attack in which hundreds, thousands, millions of people might flood to the hospital, needing treatment for diseases like anthrax, the plague, smallpox, which most doctors in this country have never seen. Now that was 13th, 14th century. But the first paragraph and second paragraph tie it in to the new millennium and the new century of the American Medical Association and infectious disease. And it is on the bubonic plague, but some of these quotes that are out of this book is the quotes that people stand up on stage and quote today, as in Bill.
Oh, yes, Mr. Gilly Bates. Wow,
it's
incredible.
It's just interesting because if history does repeat itself, people, fam, they have to read these books. Barbara Tuchman did another one on this. Read it. and you'll find out that what's going on today is what went on in the 13th century, 14th, 15th, in the Spanish flu, 1916. The town I live in, the town park that we all go to for block parties and so forth, that was used as a mortuary back then during the Spanish flu. But it's all correlated together. History repeats itself. It's amazing, but the words, I was reading the book and I couldn't believe it. I mean, some of your scholars, Dr. Fachai, whatever you want to call him, he's speaking some of these words from the 14th century. Come on.
Well, not to mention, predictive programming, some of the stuff that is happening now. I've seen multiple examples just recently. Have you seen the movie The Tomorrow War? Have you seen that yet, Cole Cracker? Did you notice that they say that the population is under 500,000? Is that...
Yeah, so Georgia Headstone.
Is that not spooky or what? And... Yeah,
and you know what's spooky is you take the population of the world and you take the population of how many whatever was supposed to be in the United States, and then you do a little subtract. That's 2/3 population.
That is so flippin' freaky.
It's crazy.
I'm trying to think of the other example we just had. No, go ahead, Cole Cracker.
Well, I would just quick. I know, you're pressed for time. I just had just another thing or two to throw at you, just besides that point. But I don't know if people are aware. This is probably the first time ever in history that this is going to happen. But on the same day that Katrina hit, August 29th, 2005, 16 years ago, we are going to have another one, but not one, but two hurricanes. Ida is the big one, and it's coming in at a Cat 3. Katrina was a 5, but when it hit land, it was a 3, and it's in the same exact spot. It's the same exact size. Not only that, there's another one conjoining, and it's going to take at least 24 hours to get through the southeast Louisiana.
I hope we never have another. Well, I mean, I know we'll probably have another Katrina type event. Well, I know we will, but I'm praying for that to happen as less as it can. Well, Cole Cracker.
Sure, me too.
I appreciate you, and again, we will link this book and others on there because I believe it is. You can access a free book version of this, so people can go read this. And go and look at what Cole Cracker is talking about. Great suggestion, and I'm going to be checking it out. And thank you. I appreciate you calling in, Cole Cracker.
Yes, I just pray and just keep your heads up. The positive thing about it is that yes, we are unfortunately all in this together, but we can make it a positive thing. So just stay positive, keep your head up. That's what I got to say. I feel good about it. Truthfully, I really do.
Well, thank you so much.
Even though it's going to be rough. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, have a good night, Cole Cracker, and God bless you, and I'm praying for you as well. And thank you so much. Have a good night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marfow. That's actually Cole Cracker, not Code Cracker, says Brownberry Perp. Trinity, if you want to get in, we were trying to figure out how to do it, how to get in. If you were calling, we could have got you in. We still can if it's quick. Trinity, I mean, you're a mod. Any mod that wants to get in, we're always here for you. So, Trinity, if you do want to get in, Dex says to text him. And then, let's see here. The movie. Somebody asked, what movie did I just say? The Tomorrow War. Is the movie. It has the gentleman from that plays Star Seed or whatever from Guardians of the Galaxy. That the guy that used to be kind of hudge-pudgy, but now he's like a hunk or whatever. He's actually really cool because he's my opinion of him is awesome. People were going after him because he was going to a church that had questionable ways, or it was more traditional or whatever. The one thing everybody stood up for him. It's crazy because I was watching this thing. The Black Widow actress, she went and sued Disney or something like that because she didn't get paid enough. And because releasing it on Disney Plus, she says basically took away from the theater release. So she was suing. Nobody had her back. Like, none of the actors had her back. But when Chris Pratt, this guy, when people were attacking him, almost every actor in the Avengers basically came to his defense and said, this guy is literally the nicest guy you will ever meet. On and off camera, he is moral. He just won't do anything, he won't lie. He just doesn't. I really do think that he is like that in real life. But they say he's a good Christian man. He's just to a fault honest. There's been some stories. I was watching all these little things and I was like, gosh, he'll admit when he does something wrong. Those are the kind of people that I hope our kids look up to. That's a true hero. That's somebody that our kids should look up to and say, that's a hero. Not somebody who, Robert Downey Jr. is a cool guy, but that guy, is that somebody who kids should look up to, does drugs and in and out of rehab, I think we need a whole set of new heroes and role models around the country. Angela 1609, hey, how are you doing? What's her name? 45. It was weird. Who are we talking about? Chris Pratt. He was attacked for being just Christian in general. Everybody, even the people that weren't Christian, like Robert Downey Jr., were like, I'm not Christian, but this guy is the nicest guy ever. There's no reason to attack him. That just because he goes to a church that believes one thing doesn't mean he necessarily believes it. Especially in, New Age Christian churches, there's lots of stuff that, you don't have to agree with. Sean Penn Roll Monster. Sean Penn Roll Monster? That sounds like a movie. Instead of a role model, it's a roll monster. There goes my hero, Lisa Hartsook. Mickey 41 says, sick of it. Scarlett Joe started with the stupid. Claire Paseric, hey, nice to see you. The Badger says Chris T or Chris Pratt. And then Cheech and Chong are available, Marv. And let's see here. Okay. Dex, did we end up?
Yeah, I've got Trinity.
Okay, perfect. We've got Trinity, our mod and an amazing creator. She's got an awesome channel. Let's pull her in. Trinity, you are live on Marfoogle News. How are you doing, Trinity?
Hello, Marfoogle. I'm good, Adam. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good. So what's going on?
Well, I haven't called in a really long time. I actually lost my voice for a couple of months, and I'm still working on it. I'm just going to go into the whole story right now. I finally got a video uploaded. I got a microphone, bought my domain name, and doing what you do every day. First of all, I just have to say, wow, you and Dex, everybody, amazing job, because it is not easy. Right now, getting information out, the last caller, that's so important to get what we can now is really important, because the video I did today, I got an email. I was on DLive, and a person said that they couldn't see my video. I said, are you kidding me? I said, screenshot it, please, and send it to me at Trinity Red or Blue Pill at Outlook.com, because I can't do the whole name. It's too long for the email. So it sent, and it said that the domain wouldn't show my video. And I thought, wow, I'm trying really hard to be careful and not say anything wrong, but yet do layers upon layers of things, because the video I did today, I don't know if you D-Wave, Gordy Rose, 3 months ago, or February, I don't know, it's in my video, he came out and talked about the dimensions and the entities and these algorithms and the warnings that, he has sold this to, well, our data, our everything, to these sites that we, get all of our information from. And I guess my main thing I want to say is when I found out that I had breast cancer, I remember being in the doctor's office. As I'll be celebrating a year from that happening in September coming up, and the whole system, everything shut down, and the nurse was like, "Wow, we've never like you just see the panic on their face, like never have this happen. People didn't get their chemo and all these things happening, and everything just went down. They didn't know why." Well, then later, and I put this in my video, screenshots about it. A lot of the healthcare systems were hijacked and hacked, and this was before the big
solar winds.
Who's in charge now?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that solar wind too, but also like who won the presidency?
Yeah.
China also is data mining not only all of our biometrics, and in my video I also have in there, the clip of saying, why did we allow them to come over here and do the DNA testing or the testing for what's happening when, this is just insanity. So all of this is connected together, which is really hard to understand. And I try really hard with my dyslexia and my ADHD and, trying to stay healthy enough to do everything right now has been pretty crazy. But I just wanted to say that be very careful. Like the information, it's the war that's on, the psyop that's in. This is huge, and we got to really unify and love, and really promote what we love instead of bashing what we hate. And there is a lot of things to be just cautious, be very cautious, but also know there's a lot of hacks happening. And yes, Sunspot Observatory was the very beginning of that. I mean, and then of course solar wind, and there's a lot going on.
Now, Trinity, let me get Dex. Dex can, because it's hard for me to find your channel when I'm live.
Oh.
Dex, can you give me the link to Trinity's? Because it's Trinity, red pill, blue pill, hi ho, Kermit the Frog here, and she kept that because she couldn't. At one point, you changed it, and you couldn't change it for so many days, and then so many people got to know you because of.
It's in screener.
It was a joke at one point, but then so many people got to know you that you kept it.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. I like to get information out with comedy relief, that's for sure.
Well, now if you try to type it in, it has to be exact.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I'm gonna try and make like a little shorter version to find me somehow. There's a lot of different things that goes, like, as you know, into this, and I signed an NDA, so there's a lot of things to talk about, and I wish I could with my background, but it's crazy right now. But I'm not trying to be fear mongering. I'm just saying, be aware of. Okay, for instance, I was sitting next to my daughter, and we have the app where you can see and it saved my life once, where you're located if something should happen. The apps that you can, I forget what's even called. There's two of them, and it kept saying she left the house, but she was sitting right next to me. So realize with technology, don't let that ruin your family, your friends, your relationships, because these AI algorithm entities and things that they're pulling in and what's going on, just explain to everybody without saying certain words, but showing things that I can't say. Realize that technology is very good in many ways, but at the same time, be aware that it is not like you'd think that all the satellites and all the crazy lasers now that are going up in the satellites with Elon Musk in the sky, that none of that would happen. But I should have screenshot it, because I was like, it happened several times. And my daughter, she just graduated college this year, and with honors. I'm extremely proud of her. But I'd say, this is so weird. It keeps saying that you left, but you're sitting right next to me. Like, her phone would be right next to me. And I thought that was extremely strange. So I could see where people would think, well, you were here. That's what this app said. But that's not you'd think it'd be right. But I witnessed it, and I don't really know how to explain it except for be careful, Trust the ones you love. Love people, not technology. You use, like they say, use technology, love people. Don't use people and love technology.
That's
everything does come down to my, never underestimate the power of kindness and be kind, because that's the whole thing about us being here. We are here for not a very long time. I mean, we're here, and there's so much beautiful, like, amazing things I try to show, that just go outside and, like you said, walk and, feel the grass and, bare feet, and hear the birds and look at the trees. I mean, I do go into really deep subjects, but at the same time, I want to keep it simple and make people realize how precious it is to be omnipresent, because you never know. And I had quite a scare today. So I'm pretty grateful right now and very humbled to be here.
Well, it sounds like you and Stoney, as our first caller, Stoney, USMC, you've probably seen him. He had a heart attack. He shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's those kind of moments that just really wake you up. Well, Trinity,
the human frequency and what the sun's doing really does affect people's health. So it's a big deal. Yes, it is a very big deal.
Which
just like the moon and the tides.
Trinity, you're almost to 5,000 subscribers. I hope that everybody ends up going over and subscribing to get her to 5, and then 10, and then 20, and then 30, and then 400 million. So I hope you get there faster than I do. Trinity, you've been through a lot in the last year, especially with the breast cancer and everything else. We've been praying for you. I know that all the other mods have been praying for you. WV and everybody else, Lisa Hall, CJ Blaze, everybody, everybody's got your back, new and old mods. So I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's hard. When they took lymph nodes out of my right arm, I'm a very strange person in many, many ways. And one of the strange things about me is I had brachial venous vein thrombosis synthoratic outlet, which is an extra rib that most people will never have. And at age 10, they thought that they were going to have to amputate my left arm, or that I was going to die from the same thing that happened today, a blood clot. And they saved my arm. They collapsed my lung, but they fixed that. My lung came back. And I was just so glad that my left arm was not amputated and I'm still alive at a very young age. And I'm also from a failed vasectomy, which is really hilarious too. And because my mom and dad had children, and one died, and they were fighting for my brother's life. And so it's been, I've seen so much pain and suffering, and I've seen so much beauty in that it just has made me who I am. And it's just really important to engage and be omnipresent, and when you feel like everything's just too much, because there's a lot that I try to get out there about what's going on. Just keep it simple too, though, and just breathe.
Well, Trinity, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. We are running out of time, unfortunately, but you're welcome on the show at any time.
Please check out the video, that Gordy Rose. Yes,
of course.
Please check out what Gordy Rose had to say about it's in there. And then I also put the clip of where he actually was on, and his video only got the interview with Gordy Rose, the D-Wave, only had like very, very little views. So it's extremely strange. And that's another thing about the algorithms. There's another Smithsonian thing. Everybody was waking up to this crazy thing. I have to do a video on it. But they're like, what in the world is this? And it was about a pyramid, and I'm trying to think what person, but anyways, I have so many videos to get out, but I lost my voice for a couple of months. I am still here. I am still trying to text and type when things are all working the way it should. And I am battling, and I'm trying really hard.
Well, we're all behind you, Trinity. And Trinity, you've always been behind me. So, again, we have your back no matter what.
Definitely.
I will definitely go over and watch it. I will watch it in whole. I will watch it multiple times. I will watch it on multiple phones, because that's how I roll. So, you know.
Well, I got to learn how to do what you do. I've been doing everything on an iPhone, but I'm finally well enough to finally get on a computer and really do things. But it's been quite a year.
Well,
so thank you.
I'm praying for you, and I mean that,
and being on the show.
Well, I mean that, and I know that a lot of people in the chat, they've known you for years. So, I mean, we're all behind you. So this is your fam.
Well, I love you all.
All right. Trinity, you have a
Be sure to
wonderful
hug
night.
one another and don't be afraid. Yeah.
All right.
Live in love.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Marf.
All right.
Thank you, Adam.
Love you.
Dex,
Bye.
everyone. All right.
That's Trinity, a longtime mod. She's been here with us for 3 years. She hasn't been around as much because she's been battling cancer. So, again, any time for what mods do is an amazing thing in itself, but almost all my mods are creators themselves, and they've gone off to make their own channels, and we always try to help boost them in the beginning and then try to get them to where they can be a creator themselves, because it's really hard in the beginning if you do not have some sort of miracle happen. It's really hard to get a YouTube channel off the ground. I believe that, my initial boost that got me my first 300 subscribers after making video, nobody, was because Secure Team 10 just randomly saw my video because they typed in a keyword about Hawaii, and that got me just a little bit of a boost to be able to get into the algorithm. If you don't get into the algorithm, you're screwed. And now the algorithm's changed so many times. You got to learn how to do it the right way. Dex, do you want to tell me about the web only content?
Absolutely, Adam. So lots going on. Head over to marfooglenews.com, click on the thumbnail for today's show, and scroll down to web-only content. And there you will find everything else that we couldn't talk about. Lots of other information going on, lots of other commentary about what has happened over in the A country and all the things that are happening there. Some issues around the CV and different types of mandates and things that are coming, and a lot of conversation in that spectrum as well. So head over there. You're probably missing an entire show's worth of content. We go out of our way to capture as much information as we can there. It's everything we can't cover on the show. Maybe it's a little too cited, or stuff that's just not allowed here on the platform. So go to marfooglenews.com, click on the thumbnail, scroll down, look for web-only content.
I can't wait to watch this. I haven't seen this yet. The split screen during the Ducci question. Because you see both the reaction and both whatever. I'm going to watch that right after the show. Hey, thank you, Dex. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate each and every one of you for that support our channel. We're the little guy. So Trinity Red Blue Pill, Kermit the Frog here says, I was going to call in. Just know you're welcome to show my videos or anything you want anytime. Of course. And we got you on. Gunpowder Production says German models showing strong Cat 3 hurricanes making landfall between Houston, Texas, and New Orleans Monday. So that's what the caller was saying. Basically, this looks a lot like the Katrina. Coalcracker Marf, did you cover them achieving singularity and what they actually means? Because I believe most do. Has to do with Trinity was saying about tech AI. AI, honestly, that you have to do some research on why people believe AI is worse than nuclear conflict. You'll understand once you start going into it. You'll start realizing what the hell is happening right now. It's not regulated, nobody's watching it, and it's gonna all of a sudden hit us in the side of the head. And thank you, everybody. Looks like we have several top people over on D Live. Thank you so much, everybody that supported. Debpool, R. Gonzalez, thank you for popping in last second. Big Hair Tsunami, Thank you for giving Trinity a voice and support. Well, thank you, Big Hair Tsunami. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for giving us support. Alfie Omega, Lisa K23, as always, popping in, at least saying hi. Thank you so much for your support. Lisa K23, Maui Racing Realtor, always here. Thank you so much for your support and loyalty. Vibron, Lurker, all of you guys that are over there. Picaris, thank you for following. Linda K, everybody that just popped in. And then The Bearded Dragon, thank you for subscribing. Gabe Reed, Tico and Taco, thank you for your support. Bro Stroyer, again, thanks. I missed a line. Situation normal. What's going on? Uper Viking, Trinity, Cole Cracker, Ilea. Shout out to Able Bodied. She's an asset. She will be. She's already a great person, but again, got to see her pop in, and then we'll be doing something in just a little bit. So thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out. It's now time for... It's not a shout-out. It's not a shoutro. Wait. I screwed that up. Hold on. It's not an outro. It's not a shout-out. It's a shoutro.
By the CIA, now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan owned by the CIA, now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan owned by the CIA, now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan owned by the CIA, now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan owned by the CIA, now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan owned by the CIA, now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them drones, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Student naughty who got yeah, cold and play, and doing hard drive, be back on. Give them everything, elbow guy with a dancer vibe when the doors weren't big. Dogecoin economy, Charlie, City Ball, Jim, K-Paul, and then upper wiser. Wanna be back, no, you gotta get wiser. Everybody open up your eyes, Lisa, thank you for everything you've done. You're the sweetest person I know with the mouth delicious. Real on that, going with the hormone chase on the Protards, Barbie, Y on the homemade Dex J and the Shadow Wolf and the Bone. What's her name? 45 tree huggers that on all the time. Greenback lady on the Andre, architect, LCS on the LSC on the socket, and on the M no guy. Linda's out in the we got mom and the gun mom being with the Johnny bar and the car door bar with the big non down with the Ria with the Dusky 420 back down and you know that right. Dusky down on the icon on me. Give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. by the CIA. Now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them guns, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Long revival with a recalcitrant on the e-ball robbery. Gonna bring her down, down, down with the Donny Thugspan and the beat down to the robber near with the horse at sea and bring it back down in the hood now wooing. Hey now with the what's her name and the bossy pain and everybody wooing the jet planes gonna fly down, gonna do down, gonna do it up now. Give them guns, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan armed by the CIA. Now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them guns, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Look at it in 4K, or maybe look at it in HD. What's the name of this song? It's saying its name that yes, it's on. It's a minute that it's on and it's never made again. It's a freestyle homesteading on the heartland. Georgia, you know, and the Miriam, Yahshua, and the Roman Wolf now. And an able-bodied Lisa Marie ass going back down and you know no stress with the geek now back with the beehive and the Merceria and the Jerlay. Oh, guy, I'm gonna bring back down when they go back. G on 1470. 6, I'm gonna bring back the guy folk. Him on the Kawasaki, going on the Kawasaki with the Sally. Bring it back, Shirley. Oh, with the middle word, I will bring it. Give them guns, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan armed by the CIA. Now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them guns, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan armed by the CIA. Now the Taliban got a little better aim. Rap it like Tupac. Rap it like Snoop Dogg. Going right back with the K-pop dogs. Remember slammers and blogs. Maybe still in the mist in the bars. Maybe hey, look through the fog. Susie on the queue in the blowtorch bar. With a Maui racing predator, Gale firestorm, love it in Carolina Bush, built my bestseller R in the bush, boots on the ground with the mixed dizzy douche and the douche back on the back with the hard styles. No, I'm busy not cheap with the back down, beep beep with the diss on with the list and that and the diss around with the most interesting man. Low horde, take a lock it, lip or back door. Low hard, liquor, bring it back down, stick a move back, nigga, never gonna stick need all in my armor, bring it back down, maybe y'all Taliban armor. Afghanistan armed by the CIA. Now the Taliban got a little better aim. Give them guns, give them jet planes, give them Humvees, hell, give them everything. Afghanistan armed by the CIA. Now the Taliban got a little better aim. I've been singing this song for the next 2 days in the bathroom. I'm going to sing in the background.